Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week of the Whole Soul Podcast. This week is actually unique and special because I am having on a super special guest, and actually going forward, having guests on the podcast is something I feel super inspired to do just to get amazing women's voices out there and to just have this like synergy of conversation because it's cool when I just like sit down and chop when I chat and drop some wisdom, but it's even more special when I get to converse and just have beautiful, harmonious synergy and just unlock some things that wouldn't be able to unlock if it weren't for special, unique energies to come on. So, yeah, today we're welcoming Julia onto the podcast. She's a dear friend and sister that I've actually never met in real life yet, but we've been following each other on social media for the last 5 years. It's so interesting how our journeys have kind of been like weaving, although we've never met online. And I just felt called to reach out and reconnect at this point in our lives after just kind of like being comrades on socials for the last 4 years. So, yeah, welcome, Julia. I'm so happy that you're here. I'd love for you to do a little introduction of who you are before we dive into what the topics are, which we discussed will be all about womanhood, being in your 20s, moving through challenges, inner work, and just becoming the best version of yourself that you can be. So, yeah.
I am so honored to be on the podcast today. My name's Julia, as Claudia just said, but I have been doing social media for a long time, full time for the last 3 years, and I just have such a passion for creating and sharing wisdom, so I am so excited to talk today on the podcast.
Yay. As soon as you said that, I feel like whoever listens will be so curious because making money on social media is just I feel like such a highly desirable thing because people don't want to work a 9 to 5, especially women who are intuitive, creative, and artistic and want to live more of a sovereign life of freedom. So, yeah, I would love to hear maybe a little bit from you about your journey of like where you came from before you started with social media and what like caused your desire to start that path.
So it kind of goes back to high school, and when I was like a junior, senior, I that's the time when everyone starts applying for colleges and you try to start thinking about like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? And during that time, every day when I would get home from school, I would sit on the couch and watch YouTube videos. I would watch vlogs, I would watch people going on these trips and making all these crazy videos. I would watch Jay Alvarez's videos, which is a whole different story because we ended up becoming friends in Hawaii. So that was like full circle manifestation moment. But I would watch all these videos. So the ideas started flowing in my head, and I was like, okay, I will never work a real job. I want to be like these people. I want to travel the world. I want to document everything. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to vlog everything. So I started posting on YouTube in high school, and my channel had like 50 subscribers. It didn't go anywhere. And then I ultimately decided, like, okay, I want to go to college in Hawaii because I knew I wanted to be somewhere warm, somewhere where I could make cool videos. And at first, my parents were like, no, like, absolutely not. You're not going there. So I was like, okay, well, then I'm not going to college. And like, not going to college wasn't really an option for my parents. So they ultimately were like, okay, fine, you can go to college in Hawaii. So I ended up here for college, and when I was a freshman, my friends and I would make YouTube videos all the time, and some of the videos for the school started doing really well. So I started getting some subscribers, and then COVID hit. My friends and I would go out every day and vlog. My channel started picking up like a little more traction. So then I started posting on TikTok, and then my TikTok started doing pretty well. Anyways, I started posting content pretty consistently all 4 years of college, but I was not making money from it. It was just like maybe $100 brand deal here, another one there, but nothing to sustain any kind of life. So when I graduated college, I had no money because I wasn't working. And so I had to move back home. And of course, my parents were like, okay, well, now you have to apply for jobs. And I was like, but I'm not getting a real job. Like, social media is going to work. This is going to be my job. So I was applying for jobs every single day that summer while I was going to work at a dispensary, like 9 to 5 kind of job. I would just sit in the back and like package everything because that's where my dad works. So he was like, just come to the dispensary. You can work here while you apply for jobs. It's like, okay. So every day that summer, my schedule looked like go work at the dispensary, apply for jobs, post TikToks. So it was around this time that I saw this girl posting TikTok shop videos. This was August 2023, and I didn't really know what it was or what was happening. But she said in her video, like, hey, if you guys post a product and link it, your video will get more views because TikTok is trying to push out these shop videos, like it's a brand new feature. And so the thought process in my head was like, oh, if I tag products, like my account will get more exposure. More people will see my videos will go viral. So I posted for Summer Fridays lip balm. The video got 8 million views and I made thousands of dollars in 1 week, and I was just like, what is happening? Like, I didn't even post this video because I knew I could make money. I just posted this video because I thought I would get more followers from it. So I ended up quitting my job at the dispensary about a month later, left the country for the first time, went to Italy, and then never looked back. So I've been full-time TikTok shop since August 2023, and it's just kind of taken off from there. And that's where we're at now.
That is so wild. I had no idea that was your first video that got 8 million views. Holy
Yeah,
moly.
insane. And it was like the silliest video too, because shop has changed so much. Now you kind of have to really sell. I actually have a lip balm right here, but I was like, I had the lip balm and I was like applying it and I was like, oh, you guys, like TikTok shop is giving out a $20 coupon. Like if you use this coupon, the Summer Fridays is basically free. And that was it. And then it just went crazy.
That is so wild. I think that also goes to say being in the right place at the right time. Like
Yeah.
sometimes if you're a pioneer in a space where something is just like taking off.
Yeah. And it just is like if you have a desire and a goal, it's like the way you're going to get there is going to be completely different than you could ever have imagined. But if you have it like firm, like, no, this is what I'm going to do, like, then yes, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. And it's also really cool to see how your intuition kind of just like guided you in your dream life. Like you knew you wanted to be in Hawaii and like you knew you wanted to live this lifestyle and
Mhm.
you just didn't settle for something that
Yeah.
you didn't want to do. So
And
that,
I think, yeah, that's like the biggest like piece of advice that I think I could give anybody is you literally cannot have a plan B. Like you can't take no for an answer and you can't have a plan B because if you have a plan B, you're giving yourself that option to fall back onto something. And
mm,
so it's like you have to fully take away every safety net and option and just fully dive headfirst into it because it's either going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't work, you're going to be guided to what actually is meant for you. And if it works, it's going to work in a way that you would never have imagined, but it will work because you put yourself in that position to not have anything else to save you.
yes, yes, yes. Like, yes, Julia wisdom. I feel like you're also just queen of mindset and you just have such a strong mindset. And yeah, it's just so radiant. Like that shines through your content so much. That brings me back though. I forgot to go into this, but perfect timing. What is it about content that you love creating, or like what is the draw for you? Like, what do you feel called to share?
For me, I feel like at first I loved the idea of putting together kind of like a feeling in a video because it started out with YouTube videos for me and like I would edit like GoPro videos together and I love I don't know, I love putting together Because I kind of go back and forth between short form and long form because YouTube is where I kind of started and that's where I was like, oh, I want to do YouTube. And then I fell off it for a while because I started doing TikTok. But every time I go back to YouTube, it kind of reignites that spark. And I'm like, wow, I love putting together these long form videos because you just see a whole journey and you really feel the moment and then you have something to look back on. Like a few weeks ago, I went back and watched so many of my old YouTube videos and filming those videos was the best thing I've ever done because you have these memories to look back on. But in the sense of making content to kind of inspire other people, I just, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I just have this like fire in my heart of I just want to get the message out to everybody that like you don't have to settle for a life that you don't like. You can do, my saying is like you can be, do, or have anything that you want. And I think my content kind of portrays that in the way of like, I started this new series and I came up with the idea literally like randomly a few weeks ago. I was like, I'm going to do a series where it's called Julia Just Doing Things because I'm always just doing random things. And I feel like that perfectly describes my life. And it's honestly, I think, such a good way to inspire other people because it shows them like, hey, if you want to go surf on a Wednesday at 12 p.m., you can go surf at a Wednesday at 12 p.m. If you want to like basket weave at 6 a.m. on a Monday, like you can do anything. Like you literally just have to do it and not like there's no reason why you should be living a life that you're not passionate about or you don't like. So I feel like for me, creating content is my way of inspiring people to really get that message of across of like you can be, do, or have anything you want.
I love that so much. And I want to go into that because I feel like I'm actually breaking, well, first of all, that is such a beautiful way of breaking somebody's paradigm of what they should
Mm.
be doing or who they should be being. So you're just like doing so much light work in the world by just like doing that and showing up consistently. And yeah, what I was gonna say is that I feel like I'm breaking out of that paradigm more and more and more, where I'm like, I can literally do whatever I want. And the version of myself that I'm stepping into, like, she gets to do that. So, yeah, I think just a lot of people have this belief that they can't do it because there's like guilt or shame or like I have to keep working and just these ideas what you have to do to be like a productive member of society, what you need to
Mhm.
do to like be successful, whatever that means to you. But so many people attach success to just like the material things you have in
Mhm.
life, like what kind of car do you drive? Where do you live? What house do you have? How much income are you making every single year? Is your job honorable? Are you a doctor? Are you a lawyer? Are you an owner of a successful business? And yeah, I think that just has like made our subconscious minds collectively so boxed in and caged. And just even being back in the US, because I've been pretty much nomadic and like outside of the US for most of the last 4 years. Coming back here, it's just insane to hear the amount of people being like, time's going by so fast. I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm so stressed out. I can't do that. I gotta pay the bills. But it's like,
Yeah,
you are creating that story for yourself and you don't have to live that. Like, yes, do the things you have to do, but how much of your time do you actually waste in the contemplation or feeling like you need to be doing something to like be worthy? So, yeah, that's just something that I've also been working through. It's like, yeah, you can do anything you want, and especially for the version that you're becoming, like, what does she do? And
hmm,
start embodying that because when you're in more alignment, you'll actually have the opportunities that are aligned with your state of being come into your field, and you can choose that rather than being like, I have to do this and I don't have time for the things that I want to do because of XYZ.
exactly. Like the American culture it literally puts this dark cloud over your head. Like when you're in those other countries, do you feel the energy shift of like the mindset or what is it
Yeah,
like?
for sure. So there's so many layers to it, but specifically in the places that I would go to, there's like a microclimate of expats, of people from like North America, from Europe, from like Southeast Asia, like all over. So, yeah, there's just like an expat community of entrepreneurs, of digital nomads. And I guess like most people have this mindset of wanting to create a life of freedom and just being more aligned with their soul. So, there's that. But wait, I kind of just lost the thread.
You're good.
Question.
What was that?
Can you repeat the question? I lost the
Oh
thread
yeah.
of like
I
what.
said when you're in those countries like Panama or Costa Rica, do you feel the energy difference of the mindset?
Yeah. Okay. So for sure, when I'm in those countries, for example, like Latin America, the energy feels so much slower.
Hmm.
And like in the US, it's so fast, especially being on the East Coast where I am right now. Like everyone's in this hustle mindset, like
Yeah.
make a shit ton of money, like get your bag, like get all the nice things so that you can like flex your arm to like show everybody else and like your friend groups like I'm the shit. And there it's like nobody really cares about what you have. Like sure, it's amazing to live a nice quality of life and have a beautiful home and car, but it's more so about the freedom and the quality of experiences that you get to have in life, which is so refreshing. And I think that's why so many people leave and go to those places because there's just a like-mindedness of
Yeah.
people that just like vibe on that same frequency.
And the problem in America is that everybody has so many self-limiting beliefs, kind of to tie back into like this idea of you can be, do, or have anything. Even if people believe that, or maybe they kind of dive into, okay, I'm actually going to live my dream life. I'm going to pursue these things. There's so many layers of all these self-limiting beliefs that we all carry around with us. I carry so many around with me every day too. So it's like until we really get to the root of that, also, it's going to be so difficult to create that dream life. And this has been something that I've kind of dove into the last few months because I've always been really good at having a good mindset and asking for things and getting them and like just living my dream life, but I didn't really fully realize how much I was holding myself back because of all these beliefs that I had in my head because hadn't really dove into the inner work and I didn't really because I'm really good at like that. I feel like the outer layer of it, but the inner layer and like my inner self and my inner work, I didn't really do that reflective work yet. And so these last few months, as I've kind of been like unlayering those beliefs and getting to the root and kind of just understanding and knowing myself deeper, it's crazy how much more I've been able to accomplish and achieve and the opportunities that have been coming to me since I've started even this deeper layer of the work. And it's just crazy too that I was even able to do all of these things and achieve this like lifestyle without even having done that reflective work.
Yeah, that is so interesting. And I feel like you're an anomaly in that sense, but I feel like your intuition is just so strong where like your soul knew what you wanted
Yeah.
and like you got to that place. But then when you're in this place of like more stability and like getting all the things externally, you realize there's like this there's just something missing that you can't
Mhm.
quite name, and I feel like that's what opens the door to actually like go within and be like, oh wait, like I checked all the boxes for the things that I wanted externally, but like there's something missing, and
Yeah.
that's you opened that door. And that's such a unique scenario because like for me my journey has been so deeply internal since I was like 18, where it was like whoa, there's like a lot of healing that needs to be done around like self-worth and identity and like trusting myself again due to like childhood experiences and programming. And yeah, it's like from my inner foundation, I feel like now I'm finally coming to this place after so many years of doing the inner work where I can actually like step out and like share what I'm doing and like speak on a podcast because
Mm.
years ago, like I would not be able to do this. I would be shaking and like shivering in my boots, unable to speak, like literally feeling a ball in my throat, preventing me from speaking. So, Yeah, it's just so interesting how everyone's journey is so unique and
Yeah.
different. And, like sometimes it starts external, then goes internal, and then like vice
Yeah,
versa.
that is so interesting. We're kind of like the complete opposite, which is good because then I feel like we can help each other in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's like your strength is my up and coming journey, and I feel like my strength is your up and coming journey.
Yeah. I feel like that's honestly why we've kind of been like magnetized to our
Yeah,
I'm like, I like this girl.
the
I
two
love her.
sides of the
Magnetism. I want to get your take on this. So I feel, and I know because I've experienced this myself, and it's something I'm like really stepping into in my life right now, is just this trust in what you are doing before you see the external results. And like the mindset and has faith played into that for you of like trusting in God, having a relationship in God, and like showing up every single day when you're not seeing the results?
So for me, trusting in God and having faith has been a newer thing. And I've noticed that ever since I have put my faith and trust in God, things feel a lot lighter. So I feel like before I would go into situations or things kind of with this fear in the back of my mind, kind of trying to find something to latch onto and being like, okay, but if this doesn't work out, like we have this, like kind of like the plan B thing I was talking about before. But I feel like now that I'm stepping into this new journey and mindset of, okay, we just have to put all of our faith and trust in God, it almost feels like a hug. Like, I feel like when you kind of take that step to be like, okay, I'm going to put my full faith and trust in God, it feels like you have a hug and it's like, okay, no matter what happens, it's going to be the best possible outcome for me.
Mm, that's such a beautiful shift. And yeah, I'm curious what that means to you, like what God means to you, or like how you perceive God, because that's such a heavy term that
Yeah,
has so much. I feel like the word God is literally the most controversial word in this entire world.
yeah,
So, yeah, we can have a conversation about that because I also have like my take, and I think it'd be
yeah.
good for whoever's listening to know like what that means to us.
I feel like I kind of see and feel God in two different ways. I would say that because there's two things that come to mind when I kind of think of and feel God. One way is literally a man in heaven, like the Father in heaven. Like I literally picture an old man in heaven. And the other way is just this energy. Like I also can picture and feel like God as just this energy field that is just everywhere. So I feel like I see in one sense like the literal old man father in heaven, like with his eyes looking down, just like watching, smiling on everyone, just like with this energy of just an open heart and love, like just looking down, smiling, like almost like with his hands out, like just kind of like watching. And then I also kind of just see the energy, like just like everywhere, like just like I don't know, it doesn't even have like a shape or an image. It's just like the energy looking down, watching on everything.
Ineffable.
I've never heard that word before.
Ineffable. It's like beyond comprehension, beyond our
Mm.
limited human brain of understanding. So, yeah, basically, God is love in my point of view. He is the Heavenly Father. Like, I see Jesus as love, not from like a religious perspective, even, but he is just an enlightened avatar and God embodied. So, yeah, Jesus has also been a big part of my journey recently and like coming out of this more so like new age spirituality and just like going straight to the source. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading the Bible almost every night before I go to bed, and it's crazy. I don't, oh my gosh, I just like felt something weird happen. Like I just like felt like a rush of emotion. Um, growing up, I grew up Catholic, and my nana would always be like, say your prayers before bed, like read your Bible, and I'd be like, yeah, like nana, like whatever. But recently, I have been reading the Bible every night before bed, and it's actually crazy when you do the things that your elders tell you to do, or like you know in your soul you should be doing when you start doing them, how much it actually changes your life. Like, I've been reading things in the Bible that, first of all, everything in it makes sense, which obviously it's a book of wisdom, but everything in it is so simple because it's like, be a good person, don't lie, like all like these things. But I've been like, it's actually been sticking with me. So when I move about my days, like, I feel like I'm just moving throughout my days as a godly woman now. Whereas a year ago, when I wasn't reading the Bible, like, it's just crazy how much it actually changes the way that you operate as a person in the world.
Mm, heck yeah. That that is such a beautiful like embodiment of what you are reading and such a like prime example of how what you feed your mind, it's like you become that. It's like what you feed
Yeah.
in your subconscious, you become. And it's also interesting because I also actually got the Bible that I saw on your story. I was like, send me the link because I want that one. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
But there's so much controversy around the Bible. Even for me, like years ago, even 2 years ago, I was like, no, I'm never going to read the Bible. But now that I'm actually reading it, I'm like, damn, this is straight fire and
Yeah,
wisdom.
it's
There's
crazy.
so much judgment around it, but when you actually read it, you just feel the truth
Hmm.
in it, and you're like, oh wow, yes.
Yeah, and even like people who aren't religious will read the Bible. And it's like you don't have to be religious or even spiritual. Like, it's literally just a book of how to live your life to be happy or how to live your life to be the best version of yourself.
Really, it's like a spiritual manual for,
Hmm.
yeah, just being in a state of heaven. I also believe that heaven is a place on earth, and like you can choose to be in heaven or hell.
Hmm.
And yeah, I love Jesus's quote. It's like, until you become like children again, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And it's literally such a true thing where the more childlike you become, and that doesn't mean being immature, but the more like play and curiosity and like wonder you can like bring into your life and just like open your eyes to the magic that is in life.
Yeah,
Like you're literally entering heaven. Like that's what it means,
I love that.
not being in a state of suffering. But yeah, let's move on to maybe like the last topic and we can wrap up. I feel like we should also do another podcast because this is so nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
definitely.
But I'm curious to know your experience with, yeah, just being a woman in your 20s. How old are you right now?
I'm 25.
25. Cool. I'm 25 too. And yeah, maybe what the last few years have been like for you, what you're experiencing now. Because for myself personally, the 20s that passed by, I'm so happy to like never go back to my early 20s. And right now, I feel like 25, there's been like a shift in my brain. I don't know what it is. I feel like there's a whole transformation that I'm in the midst of right now. I can't really explain it, but I feel like I'm realizing, holy shit, I'm becoming a woman. Like I'm
Yeah,
a
no,
man, and
literally same.
like not the girl that I was like 2 years ago. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I feel like for me, the same exact thing. I turned 25 and I was just like, what is happening? Like, all these things started clicking in my head. And I've been kind of reflecting and looking back at my early 20s and just the things I was doing, the way I was acting, the way I was dressing. And at first, I was kind of looking at it with this regret and this guilt and this shame of, oh, I wish I knew what I know now back then. Like, I wish I carried myself better. I wish I wasn't going to bars. I wish I wasn't doing these things. But those things happen for a reason. So I've been working through that. But I've been coming to this epiphany of like, okay, I'm 25. I need to carry myself like a 25-year-old woman. Like, what does a 25-year-old woman do every day? How does she act? How does she treat people? How does she dress? And so I've been really being conscious of those things every day as I've been moving through my days, just to make sure that I am embodying that and I act like a mature 25-year-old woman and not how I was acting in my early 20s. So I'm so excited for that too, because it's like the rest of my 20s, I know that the woman I become will be even more grown and mature than the version of myself right now. And so I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. I love that so much. I feel the same way. And also, I see it from this perspective that the more I align myself with God and like God's will and just lead my life with intention and just awareness for like how I'm acting, who I'm being, and who I want to step into by committing and like making that choice every day to show up as that, like everything that is meant to be in my life will find me quicker and like it'll avoid, I guess, like the BS, like the shit that you don't want to experience because you're actually leading with intention and with truth to the best of your ability and kind of like living as a godly woman because when you're not, you're gonna experience like pain and suffering in your soul, like truly. And you might not even know it at the time, but yeah, kind of like you said, the last few years, coming to this place, you're realizing like, oh wow, I was being in a way that doesn't really align
Yeah,
with who I am in my core.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that was a huge realization too, because even like when you look back on things before you kind of come to this place, you're like, oh, but I had fun, or it was fun, or like I don't know, you kind of look at it as like, oh, I'm young, it doesn't matter what I do, but it does because it's going to affect you later on. And if you don't come to that epiphany of like, okay, I have to mature, I have to grow up, then that's when you see people like carrying out all these bad habits into their life, and then what happens? They're not happy. So yeah, it comes to a point where you're like, okay, I have to grow up, I have to live like the godly woman that God intends for me to be. And yeah, I'm so grateful that I've had this realization now rather than years down the line.
Yes. I'm curious now being like in the midway point of being in your 20s. It's wild. Like for me at least, the last 5 years have literally went by so quick. I mean, if you think about it, COVID was literally 6 years ago.
That's crazy.
What the heck? That makes no sense. So like we're gonna be 30 like this, and it's gonna go by and we're gonna be like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
I'm curious what your priorities right now are. Like, what do you want to experience in your 20s? Because I just feel like, again, life shifts when you turn 30. Like, you just mature more. Like, you're in this
Mhm.
constant evolution and maturation and like different phases of life. And I feel like not for everybody, but as you enter your 30s, you just become more wanting to have a family and have stability and become a mother potentially. Maybe not for everybody. So I'm curious to know like what your bucket list things are to experience or yeah, what do you want to be in your tw the rest of your 20s?
It's so crazy because we come up with these timelines for ourselves. And I was just in a relationship. And so I had this idea of like, okay, in a year, or I don't know, like whatever. I was like, in a year, 2 years, I'll be married and then I'll have kids. Like, I want kids before I'm 30. And it's like, okay, well, babe, right now you don't even have a boyfriend. So having kids before you're 30 is crazy. But God has his plan, but yeah, I want to get married, fall in love, and have a big family
Oh,
as soon as possible. But I know that God is preparing me for that. And I kind of had this epiphany too when my last relationship ended. Like at the time that I was in it, I was like, I was not ready to be a wife, to be a mother. And so it's like, I know that this season now is preparing me to become the woman to be those things. So I am excited and looking forward to when those things do come, because that's definitely the greater picture.
that is so beautiful. Do you feel like motherhood is a huge purpose and excitement for you in this life?
Yeah, I feel like for me, having a family is like, yeah, the biggest excitement.
Mm. So beautiful. I feel similarly, and I'm curious if this happened for you too, but in my early 20s, I feel like me nor any of my friends around me were talking about getting married or like having a family and kids. And I feel like something happens when you're like 24, 25, where you're just like, yep, I want to be a wife. I want
Yeah.
to have a family. I'm ready to be a mother. I have baby fever.
Yeah, when we were in our young 20s, no one was talking about that. And
Yeah.
it literally was like this year, everyone's suddenly like, wait, I want to be a mom right now.
Yeah, what the heck? Hormones, I guess. Wow. Yes. So good. Hmm. Trying to think what else in womanhood or like what else in 20s. For me, I guess I'll share this, but I feel like the next few years, probably the next like 3 to 4 years, I really want to lock in on what I'm creating and like go as hard. As aligned and just like show up as much as I can to the best of my ability while living an amazing life that I love and creating financial freedom and stability and like traveling to all the places I want to go, like spending time with girlfriends, just like doing girls' trips, traveling with my partner. And although like I want to continue doing that, I feel like when I'm 29, 30, 31, I actually have no idea because life changes so quick and things can change, but I feel like I want to live my life as kind of this sovereign free being without kids and do everything I've ever wanted to do and then kind of like move on into the next phase. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I can sense that it's coming for you.
I'm stoked. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're coming up around on the hour, but I guess what has been the hardest part for you of, I guess, being a woman right now in your 25th year of life?
The hardest part.
A struggle or a challenge that you've been experiencing?
I feel like for me right now, being a 25-year-old woman kind of goes back to what I just said about like in your young 20s and you're kind of just like living life thinking nothing matters. I've been reflecting heavily just on like kind of just like the way that I lived my life and some decisions that I made that don't align with who I am and why I did them, and been working through this idea of forgiving myself so that I don't walk around carrying this guilt and shame. Because, especially even in my last relationship, there was like something that came up and I lied about it because I was so just like guilty about it, of like, I don't want my partner to know that I did this thing because it doesn't reflect who I am. But then the lie makes the whole situation worse because, and so I've been working through that of just forgiving myself for the things that I've done in the past, because at the time I didn't have the knowledge or the wisdom that I do now. And I didn't know God like how I do now. And so at this point right now, it's like, okay, if I were to make a decision like that again with the wisdom and knowledge I have, like we need to reflect on that a little deeper, but just working through it because God forgives us for all the sins that we've had. And so it's like, if God can forgive us, we have to forgive ourselves. And I was also like reading about this, and it was saying that if we can't forgive ourselves, how can we ever expect to forgive other people who hurt us? And so that was really powerful. So I've been really reflecting and working on that, because if you walk around carrying guilt and shame, like other people can sense that. And if you walk around forgiving yourself, acknowledging what you did, and not pretending that it never happened, I've been feeling such a shift in myself of I've been feeling lighter, and I've been feeling like my heart is just open more and being like, okay, I did these things in the past. I don't align with them because I think when you carry this guilt and shame, you kind of are associating like this fear of, oh my gosh, that describes who I am as a person. Like those sins are saying that I'm this person because I did those things, but it's not. When you sin or do something that you know doesn't align with you, if you acknowledge it, you reflect on it, and you work through it, you will understand that it doesn't reflect who you are at all. And just because you did something and your action shows something doesn't mean that that's who you are as a person. So, as I've been working through that, I've been feeling so much better. Like about myself, I feel like my self-worth is increasing, and I've just been feeling, I don't know, I've been feeling more love and more light. Like I've just been feeling so much better working through these things, which makes so much sense because guilt and shame are literally at the bottom of the consciousness level. So if you carry these emotions on you, like if you're even if you're vibrating up here, like it's gonna keep trying to pull you down to this energy field that's so negative and terrible. So it's like ripping the or peeling the blankets off. So I feel like I'm
Mhm.
rising up as I'm working through just forgiving myself and giving myself grace for decisions that I made that don't align with who I know I am at my core.
Wow, you explained that so beautifully.
Thank you.
I so feel that for you. And I think that also goes to say with this concept that the body keeps score. So, like,
I've
if
been reading that book. It's so
so
good.
good. If you are carrying shame and guilt, like that is dis-ease within your body. Like it does
Yeah.
not create ease, it's stress. And
Yeah.
the longer you keep it, and this might be science, this might just be my theory, but I know that like deep within my soul that all chronic illness, all chronic dysregulation, all like what's it called? Um autoimmune disease
Yeah.
comes from this chronic stress of
Mhm.
emotion and like energy that you're carrying
Yeah.
in your body. Of course, lifestyle has to play too, but it's more so emotional and energetic. And like
Mhm.
at some point, your body just like cannot keep repairing because the body
Yeah.
constantly wants to heal and like repair. But if you have this stressor like guilt and shame that you just cannot let go of, that's going to manifest into these physical symptoms
Mhm.
and illnesses.
Yeah,
So,
which I have celiac disease, which is an autoimmune disease, and the timing of when it came on, this is a whole nother episode, is crazy. So that's like one of my goals down the line is to reverse that.
wow. That is crazy. I had no idea you had celiacs. That also reminds me so much of how Jesus died on the cross and like forgave all of the people that
Mhm.
killed him, that didn't see him, that didn't understand him. And that was like the permission field that he gives to every single human on earth now to like forgive the people that don't see you. Forgive the people that want to kill you. Forgive the people that just don't understand because they just do not understand. But if you know and you have this awareness and you can forgive them and forgive yourself, that's like actually what is true freedom.
Yeah, because it's just so beneficial to not only the world, but to yourself. Yeah, true freedom is the best way to describe that.
It is. This episode has been so lovely. I think we're like an hour in, which is
Oh,
as long as
that
we're under an hour, I feel like that is digestible and good. But what would you want your younger self to know? Number one, and I guess that also goes to say, what do you want the listener to walk away with from this episode or from your heart?
I think that even in the days where you feel like you're so small and your dreams don't matter, you are worthy of every single thing. And that moment when it hits you and you feel the gratitude in your heart and you kind of see everything unfolding before your eyes, it will feel like nothing you've ever felt before. And I think in those moments where it feels the complete opposite, like everything is crashing down and you're so sad and you feel like there's nothing to look forward to, you can channel that emotion of the gratitude and you can feel it in your heart and you can kind of get a little taste of how good it will feel.
That is so powerful. I want to add on to that too. Just like having faith in the dark moments that by tapping into that gratitude, you are able to like channel that energy and also like transmute whatever pain or fear or just like death energy. Like you will get to that point of feeling freedom again. And it's about having faith and trust in God and yourself that you can keep showing up.
Yes.
Well, I love you. Thank you so much for being on this podcast and having this lovely share of, yeah, communication and synergy. I hope you all have the most beautiful day. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to leave a rating on Spotify, Apple, or if you're listening on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. And yeah. Mwah.